One moment, life feels effortless, like a calm river flowing under the golden sun, everything in perfect harmony. The next, you're drowning in chaos, unexpected setbacks, betrayals, moments of complete uncertainty. And just like that, peace slips through your fingers like sand. Sound familiar? This is the nature of life. Unpredictable, merciless, relentless. But here's the twist. What if, no matter what storm came your way, you remained completely unshaken? What if no insult, no failure, no moment of loss could disturb the stillness within you? Imagine this. You're standing in the middle of a hurricane, but inside, you're as calm as a monk in meditation. Sounds impossible, right? But it's not. And it's not about being emotionless. It's about being untouchable. As the Buddha once said, rule your mind, or it will rule you. And let's be honest, most of us are ruled by our minds. We're at the mercy of our emotions, reacting, overthinking, losing ourselves in the chaos of the world. But the masters of the mind, the ones who walk through life with unbreakable calm, they know something most people don't. Strength doesn't come from controlling the outside world. It comes from mastering your inner world. So, I have a question for you. And be honest with yourself. Do you control your mind, or does your mind control you? Think about the last time you lost your temper, doubted yourself, or let fear decide your actions. What if, instead of being thrown around by emotions, you could remain centered, unmovable, like a mountain in a storm? Here's the kicker. What if I told you that unshakable calm isn't a gift, it's a skill? And like any skill, it can be learned. By the end of this video, you'll know 10 powerful ways to train your mind to stay unshakable no matter what happens. And if you stay till the end, there's a bonus lesson that could change how you see every challenge in life. But before we dive in, let me ask you this. What would your life look like if you were truly unshakable? If no insult could break you, no failure could define you, and no storm could move you. If you take anything from this video, just take this. Your power lies not in what happens to you, but in how you respond. That's all you need to know in life. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Control your mind or let it control you. A wild horse, untrained, untamed, and restless, can be dangerous. It kicks, it bolts, it resists any attempt to be guided. But in the hands of a skilled rider, it becomes a force of power, grace, and control. Your mind is no different. Left unchecked, it races from fear to doubt, from anger to regret. But when trained, it becomes your greatest ally. The question is, do you control your mind, or does it control you? Most people live as prisoners of their own thoughts. A single setback, a harsh word, an unexpected challenge, and their emotions spiral out of control. They replay past mistakes, anticipate future failures, and drown in a storm of their own making. But Buddhist wisdom teaches a simple truth. You aren't your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. The moment you realize this, the chaos loses its grip. You are no longer the wild horse. You are the rider. Imagine this. You're in a stressful situation, perhaps an argument, a failure, or a deep disappointment. Your mind instantly reacts. Anger rises. Fear tightens its grip. Frustration clouds your thinking. But instead of being pulled by these emotions, pause. Take a breath. Observe. Ask yourself, is this thought serving me? Do I want to be led by this reaction, or do I choose my response? In that moment of awareness, you regain control. A trained mind does not mean suppressing emotions. It means not being enslaved by them. It means stepping back and seeing thoughts for what they are. Fleeting, impermanent, and often unreliable. The mind is a storyteller, but not every story it tells is true. The fear of failure, a story. The belief that you're not good enough, a story. The assumption that others are against you, just another story. When you recognize this, you stop reacting blindly and start responding with wisdom. In everyday life, this training begins with small moments. The next time someone criticizes you, instead of reacting defensively, observe the thought that arises, "I'm being attacked." But is that true? Or is it just a perspective your mind created? When you feel anxiety creeping in, don't resist it, study it. Ask, what is my mind telling me? Is this reality or just fear speaking? With practice, you shift from being controlled by emotions to mastering them. Here's the twist. The mind's chaos is not the enemy. It is raw energy, untamed potential. Just like fire, it can destroy, or it can illuminate. The key is learning to direct it. Through meditation, mindfulness, and intentional thinking, you teach the wild horse to walk beside you, not drag you behind it. So, here's your challenge. For 1 week, practice this. Each time a strong emotion arises, don't react. Pause. Observe. Ask yourself, am I the rider, or am I being dragged by the horse? Master this, and you will not be shaken by life's storms. You will ride through them with clarity and strength. 2. Calmness is not weakness, it's strength. A mountain does not tremble when the storm howls. It does not chase the wind, nor does it resist the rain. It simply stands, unshaken, unmoved. This is the essence of true strength. In a world that glorifies loudness and reaction, calmness is often mistaken for weakness. But in truth, it is the foundation of power. The real question is, do you let the storms of life shake you, or do you become the mountain? Most people react to stress like a leaf caught in the wind, tossed around by frustration, panic, and fear. A single email ruins their day. A traffic jam sparks rage. A disagreement turns into an emotional battlefield. But Buddhist wisdom teaches, a quiet mind is not a weak mind. It sees clearly and acts decisively. When you cultivate calmness, you don't ignore life's challenges. You face them with precision and clarity. Imagine walking into a tense situation, a workplace conflict, a personal loss, an unexpected failure. Your first instinct may be to react, to argue, to resist. But pause, breathe, ask yourself, will panic solve this, or will clarity? In that moment, you step out of reactivity and into mastery. The mind wants to rush, to push, to fight. But calmness teaches patience. It reminds you that a clear mind makes better choices than a chaotic one. Think about the strongest people you know. Do they scream when things go wrong? Do they crumble under pressure? Or do they remain steady, composed, and unshaken? True strength is not in aggression. It is in restraint. The ability to remain calm when the world expects you to break is what sets you apart. There's a simple exercise to prove this to yourself. The next time you feel anger rising, don't act. Instead, take 3 slow breaths and do nothing for 10 seconds. Observe how the mind wants to lash out, how it wants to fight. But in those 10 seconds, something powerful happens. The illusion of urgency disappears. You realize that not every battle is worth fighting. Not every emotion needs to be obeyed. This is how calmness becomes an advantage. Calmness does not mean inaction. It does not mean surrendering to circumstances or avoiding responsibility. Instead, it is the ability to see clearly, act with intention, and conserve energy for what truly matters. It's why the greatest warriors in history were not the loudest, but the most composed. They understood that battles are won not through reckless aggression, but through controlled precision. The real surprise is this: calmness is not passive. It is not about retreating or avoiding. It is strategic restraint, an energy that outlasts brute force. Water over time carves through mountains. A calm mind over time overcomes any obstacle. The greatest victories in life often come not from overpowering others, but from mastering oneself. So, here's your challenge. For the next week, practice the power of pause. Each time something triggers you, delay your reaction. Breathe. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, respond with clarity, not chaos. Over time, this habit transforms you. You stop being shaken by life's small storms. You become the mountain. 3. Anger is a fire that burns you. First, imagine holding a burning coal in your hand, intending to throw it at someone who hurt you. But the longer you hold it, the more it sears your skin. This is anger. It promises justice, but in reality, it only harms the one who holds on to it. Yet, in moments of frustration, we cling to it, believing it gives us power. The question is, do you control your anger, or does it control you? Buddhism teaches, hatred never ceases by hatred, only by love does it end. When someone insults you, when life feels unfair, when the past reopens old wounds, anger surges like a wildfire. It clouds judgment, poisons relationships, and prolongs suffering. But here's what most people don't realize. Anger is rarely about the present moment. It is a reaction to deeper wounds. Imagine a coworker criticizes you in front of others. Instantly, anger flares up. Your heart races, your mind screams, "How dare they?" But if you pause, you'll notice something deeper beneath the rage. Fear. Fear of disrespect. Fear of rejection. Fear of being seen as weak. Anger is a mask. It covers vulnerability, insecurity, and old scars we haven't healed. This is why reacting in anger never resolves the issue. It only fuels the fire. The next time anger rises, ask yourself, will this anger matter in 10 years? Most of the time, the answer is no. That rude comment? Forgotten. That betrayal? A lesson learned. But in the heat of the moment, it feels enormous. This is why mindfulness is key. Instead of feeding the fire, step back and observe. Where is this anger coming from? What fear is hidden underneath? When you uncover the real cause, the flames begin to die down. Think about those who have mastered this. The ones who remain composed even when insulted. The ones who choose wisdom over wrath. Do they seem weak, or do they seem powerful? The strongest person in the room is not the one who yells the loudest. It is the one who doesn't let others shake their inner peace. True power is the ability to respond, not react. There is another way. Instead of meeting anger with anger, meet it with understanding. When someone lashes out, don't take it personally. Ask yourself, what pain drives their behavior? People who hurt others are often carrying their own suffering. This does not mean accepting mistreatment, but it does mean freeing yourself from unnecessary emotional burdens. You can set boundaries without carrying hatred. You can stand up for yourself without losing peace. Here's the twist. Anger often masks fear. Address the fear, and the anger dissolves. If you fear losing control, strengthen your inner stability. If you fear disrespect, build unshakable confidence. If you fear rejection, practice self-acceptance. When you heal what's beneath the anger, you no longer need it as a shield. So, here's your challenge. For 1 week, each time anger arises, don't react. Pause. Ask yourself, what is this anger hiding? Will this matter in 10 years? Observe without attachment. and watch the fire lose its fuel. Master this, and you will no longer burn. You will transform the fire into light. 4. Losing control is a choice. A leaf drifting down a river does not fight the current. It does not cling to rocks or resist the flow. It simply moves with the water, trusting the direction it has taken. But humans, we grip, we struggle, we fight against reality, desperate to control the uncontrollable. And when things don't go our way, we panic. The irony? Losing control isn't something that happens to you. It's a choice you make. Buddhism teaches peace comes not from controlling life, but from releasing the illusion of control. The truth is, you are never in control of most things. You cannot control how others treat you, how the world shifts, or how the past unfolds. Yet, people exhaust themselves trying to force reality into their expectations. They resist change, they fear uncertainty, and they cling to the impossible task of making life predictable. But real strength comes from a different mindset, not in gripping tighter, but in letting go. Imagine standing in the ocean, trying to stop the waves from crashing into you. No matter how strong you are, the tide is stronger. The more you resist, the more exhausted you become. But the moment you stop fighting and start floating, something changes. You are no longer battling the waves. You are moving with them. This is how surrender works. It is not giving up. It is shifting from resistance to flow, from fear to trust. Think about the last time you felt overwhelmed. Maybe a relationship was slipping away, or your career didn't go as planned. Maybe life threw an unexpected challenge at you, and frustration took over. In those moments, ask yourself, what can I accept here to reclaim peace? You don't have to like the situation, but by accepting what is, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. Resistance traps you. Acceptance liberates you. This does not mean you stop taking action. It means you shift your focus. You can't control the storm, but you can control how you navigate it. You can't control the past, but you can control how you move forward. When you focus only on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your mindset, suddenly, life becomes lighter. You stop wasting energy on battles that cannot be won and start investing it in growth, wisdom, and resilience. The paradox is that letting go is not weakness. It is aligning with universal wisdom. The river does not fight its path. It carves through mountains. The sky does not resist the storm. It lets it pass. Likewise, when you release your grip on control, you make room for life to unfold naturally, often in ways far better than you imagined. Here's your challenge. The next time you feel resistance, when things aren't going your way, pause and ask, what am I clinging to? What can I accept? Breathe deeply and shift your energy from control to trust. Just like the leaf floating on the river, you will find that when you let go, you don't fall, you flow. 5. Life is unfair, but that doesn't matter. A storm does not ask permission before it arrives. It rips through the land, bends trees, and tests the strength of everything in its path. Some trees fall, others stand taller. The difference? Their roots. Life is the same. It does not wait for you to be ready before throwing challenges your way. And sometimes it feels brutally unfair. But here's the truth. Life's unfairness is not a punishment. It is your training ground. Buddhism teaches pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. The rain will fall, but whether you drown in self-pity or dance in the storm is up to you. People waste years fighting reality, asking, why me? Why is life so unfair? But this question leads nowhere. It keeps you trapped in frustration, waiting for fairness that may never come. A better question is, what is this teaching me? Because within every challenge lies an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Think about the strongest people you know. Did they have an easy life, or did they face hardships that forced them to rise above their circumstances? Greatness is not born from comfort. It is forged in adversity. A warrior does not become skilled by avoiding battle. A tree does not grow deep roots in calm weather. Life's unfair moments are not obstacles. They are invitations to grow. Imagine two people lose their jobs unexpectedly. One spirals into self-doubt, blaming the economy, their boss, or bad luck. The other sees it as a wake-up call, an opportunity to build something better. Same situation, different mindset. The first person fights the unfairness, staying stuck. The second embraces it as a lesson and moves forward. Which one are you? There is a moment in every struggle where you must decide, will this break me or will this build me? The moment you stop expecting fairness, you reclaim power over your life. No longer waiting for the world to change, you change yourself. No longer controlled by external circumstances, you become unshakable. Think about the setbacks you faced, the heartbreak, the failures, the moments that tested you. Did they destroy you, or did they make you stronger? If you're still standing, you already have proof. Life's hardships did not break you, they shaped you. And they will continue to do so, if you let them. Here's the twist. The universe is not against you. It is not punishing you. It is refining you. Every difficult moment is a lesson. Every obstacle, a test. Life is not unfair. It is training you to become the person you were meant to be. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you stop suffering over what cannot be changed. So, here's your challenge. The next time something feels unfair, don't complain. Don't resist. Instead, ask, what is this teaching me? How can I use this to grow? Stand tall like the tree in the storm. Let life test you. Let it shape you. And when the winds die down, you will not be the same. You will be stronger. 6. Life is chaotic, but calmness lies within you. A pond disturbed by the wind turns muddy and unclear. But the moment the wind settles, the water becomes still, revealing its true clarity. Life is the same. The world around you is unpredictable, full of noise, conflicts, and unexpected challenges. But here's the secret. It is not the chaos outside that disturbs you. It is the chaos within. And once you learn to calm your inner world, nothing outside can shake you. Buddhism teaches, outer chaos reflects inner turbulence. People blame stress on their jobs, their relationships, or the world's uncertainty. But stress is not caused by events. It is caused by our reactions to them. When the mind is unsettled, even small problems feel overwhelming. When the mind is still, even chaos feels manageable. True strength comes not from controlling life's storms, but from learning to remain calm within them. Think about the last time someone upset you. Maybe they insulted you, ignored you, or treated you unfairly. Your heart raced, your mind filled with anger, and you reacted. But what if, in that moment, you had paused and asked, am I reacting to the problem, or am I reacting to my ego? Most suffering does not come from external problems. It comes from the resistance within. The need to be right. The need to be in control. The fear of looking weak. But a mind at peace has nothing to prove. Imagine two people stuck in traffic. One is furious, gripping the wheel, cursing every delay. The other breathes deeply, accepting the situation as it is. The traffic is the same, but the experience is completely different. One person is controlled by their emotions. The other is in control of them. The question is, Which one do you want to be? Chaos is not the enemy. It is a mirror. It reveals where you are still attached, whether to your expectations, your pride, or your fears. When life feels overwhelming, do not fight the storm. Observe it. The mind, like water, becomes clear when left undisturbed. That clarity allows you to act with wisdom instead of reacting with emotion. In moments of stress, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Most of the time, the answer is no. You will realize that many problems are illusions, magnified by a restless mind. The more you practice stillness, the less power the outside world has over you. This is your challenge. The next time you feel overwhelmed, do not respond immediately. Do not let the chaos control you. Instead, step back. Breathe. Ask yourself, am I reacting to reality, or am I reacting to my attachments? When you master this, you become unshakable. Life will continue to be unpredictable, but you will remain steady, like the pond that, once still, reflects the sky with perfect clarity. 7. Don't get stuck in the past or the future. A candle flame flickers wildly when disturbed by the wind, but when the air is still, the flame burns steady, unwavering. Your mind is the same. It flickers between past regrets and future anxieties, never fully at peace. But when you anchor yourself in the present moment, you become unshakable. Buddhism teaches, the past is a memory, the future is a fantasy. Freedom lives here. Yet most people spend their lives trapped in two illusions, mourning what was or fearing what will be. They replay old mistakes, wishing they had chosen differently, or they worry about things that haven't even happened yet. But here's the truth. Neither the past nor the future exists right now. Only this moment does. Think about it. How much time do you spend reliving past failures or imagining worst-case scenarios? How often do you miss what's right in front of you because your mind is elsewhere? People say, I'll be happy when they get the promotion, when they find love, when life finally feels perfect. But when that moment comes, their mind has already moved to the next worry, the next goal. Happiness is always just out of reach. But what if it was never missing? What if you were just looking in the wrong place? Imagine holding a heavy backpack. Inside are all your regrets, fears, and worries. You carry it everywhere, feeling its weight. But what if you simply let it go? The moment you drop it, you are free. Not because life changed, but because you stopped clinging to what was never yours to carry. The mind does the same. It holds on to what has already happened, or what might happen, instead of experiencing what is happening. The next time your mind drifts, ask yourself, where is my attention actually needed right now? If you are eating, taste the food. If you are walking, feel the ground beneath your feet. If you are talking to someone, truly listen. Life is not happening yesterday. It is not happening tomorrow. It is happening right now. And if you are not present, you are not truly living. Here's the twist. Anxiety about the future often stems from avoiding the present. When people are disconnected from the now, they create mental stories of disaster. But when fully immersed in the moment, those fears lose their grip. The mind calms, reality becomes clear, and you realize you were never truly lost, just distracted. So, here's your challenge. For one day, live completely in the present. No overthinking the past. No stressing about the future. Just focus on this moment. What you see, what you hear, what you feel. Observe how much lighter, clearer, and more peaceful your mind becomes. Because when you stop chasing time and start embracing now, you become untouchable. Like the candle flame that, once shielded from the wind, burns steady and bright. 8. Don't let circumstances define you. A river does not resist the rocks in its path. It flows around them. It does not cling to its shape. It adapts, moves, and finds a way forward. Water is powerful not because it fights, but because it yields. Yet so many people live like stone, rigid, unbending, shattering under the pressure of circumstances they cannot control. The truth is, life will not always go your way. Plans will fail. People will disappoint you. But if you let those moments define you, you will always be at the mercy of the external world. Buddhism teaches, attachment is the root of suffering. But attachment isn't just about material things. It's about expectations, identities, and outcomes. When you cling to how things should be, you resist how they are. And in that resistance, suffering is born. You see it everywhere. People who feel lost because a relationship ended, who crumble because their career didn't unfold as planned, who live in constant anxiety because the future remains uncertain. But the problem is not the circumstances. The problem is the grip. Imagine a person holding onto a rope that's burning their hands. The tighter they squeeze, the more pain they feel. But they refuse to let go. Why? Because they've convinced themselves that holding on is the only way to survive. But the moment they release their grip, the pain stops. The lesson? Suffering isn't caused by life's changes. It's caused by our refusal to accept them. The next time you feel resistance, ask yourself, what can I release to flow freely? Maybe it's an outdated belief about success. Maybe it's the idea that happiness must look a certain way. Maybe it's a past version of yourself that no longer serves you. Non-attachment doesn't mean indifference. It doesn't mean you stop caring, or that you give up on your dreams. It means you love fiercely without clinging. You show up, do your best, and trust that whatever comes, you can handle it. Think of a tree in a storm. The branches that resist the wind snap under pressure, but the branches that bend survive. Strength is not about being unmovable. It's about being unshakable. And unshakable people don't let circumstances define them. They adjust. They grow. They let go of what no longer fits, and they trust that no matter how life shifts, they remain whole. Here's the twist. The more you cling, the more you suffer. But the moment you stop trying to control every detail, life opens up in ways you never expected. Opportunities arise, peace becomes effortless, and you realize you were never losing anything. You were only making space for something new. So, here's your challenge. The next time life doesn't go as planned, pause. Instead of resisting, ask, what if this is not an obstacle, but an invitation to grow? Because when you stop letting circumstances define you, you become like water, able to move through anything without breaking. And in that flow, you will find true freedom. 9. Impermanence is liberation. Nothing lasts, so cling to nothing. A monk spends hours creating a sand mandala, intricate, beautiful, precise. And then, when it's complete, he wipes it away. To an outsider, it seems like destruction. But to the monk, it is liberation. This is the truth most people resist. Nothing lasts. Not success, not failure, not happiness, not pain. And yet, instead of finding freedom in this truth, we cling. We cling to people, identities, possessions, moments, desperate to make them permanent. But the more we cling, the more we suffer. Buddhism teaches, all things arise and pass away. This is not a curse. It is the key to peace. Imagine if nothing ever changed. If every hardship you've ever faced was permanent, the sadness, the failures, the disappointments, all stretching endlessly into forever. But they don't. No matter how deep the pain, it eventually fades. And the same is true for joy. That's why the real question is not, how do I keep things the same? The real question is, can I cherish this moment without needing it to stay? Think about the ocean. It does not hold onto its waves. They rise, they fall, and the ocean remains. This is the way of life. The tighter you grip something, the more painful it is when it slips away. A relationship ends. A loved one leaves. A chapter of your life closes. And you suffer. Not just because of the loss, but because of the refusal to let go. But what if you shifted your perspective? What if, instead of fearing change, you embraced it? Next time you find yourself resisting impermanence, ask, what if this is not the end, but a beginning? Because that's what change really is. An opening, an evolution, a chance to become something new. The falling leaves make way for spring. The setting sun promises another dawn. Nothing lasts, and that is not a tragedy. It is what makes life meaningful. If everything was permanent, nothing would be special. It is the fleeting nature of a sunrise that makes it breathtaking. It is the uncertainty of life that makes each moment precious. So, here's the paradox. The more you accept impermanence, the more at peace you become. You stop fearing loss. You stop grasping for control. And in that surrender, you find something unexpected, freedom. You become like the sand mandala, beautiful in your ability to exist fully, even knowing that one day, the wind will carry you away. Here's your challenge. This week, take one thing you're afraid of losing and sit with it. Instead of clinging, ask, can I love this without needing it to last forever? Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a moment of happiness. Maybe it's who you are today. Whatever it is, let it be what it is, without fear, without desperation. And in that moment, you will understand something most people never do. Impermanence is not something to resist. It is something to celebrate. 10. Compassion is the ultimate armor. A lotus flower rises from the mud, untouched by the filth beneath it. No matter how dark the water, it blooms unstained. This is the power of compassion. In a world filled with anger, cruelty, and misunderstanding, your greatest armor is not aggression. It is the ability to remain kind without being weakened. Most people see compassion as softness, as something fragile, easily crushed under the weight of the world. But true compassion is unbreakable. It is the ability to see beyond someone's actions and recognize the suffering that fuels them. Buddhism teaches, hurt people hurt people. The person who insults you is often drowning in their own insecurities. The one who betrays you carries wounds you cannot see. This does not excuse their behavior, but it reveals an important truth. Your enemy is not the person in front of you. Your enemy is the cycle of suffering that turns pain into more pain. If you react with hatred, you feed the cycle. But if you respond with understanding, you disarm it before it strikes. Imagine someone wrongs you, a cruel word, a betrayal, an act of selfishness. Instinct tells you to strike back, to defend your pride, to balance the scales. But pause. Take a breath. Instead of asking, how do I make them pay? Ask, how can I respond in a way I'll respect tomorrow? Because here's the truth. Revenge is temporary satisfaction. Compassion is permanent strength. The strongest person is not the one who overpowers others. It's the one who refuses to be controlled by their own anger. Many mistake compassion for weakness, but in reality, it is self-defense. It is the shield that prevents others from turning you into something you're not. When you meet hostility with peace, when you refuse to let another person's darkness dim your light, you win without fighting. This is not passivity. It is mastery over yourself. It is choosing peace when chaos invites you to war. Does this mean allowing people to walk over you? Number boundaries and compassion are not opposites. A strong person can say, I will not let you harm me, but I also will not hate you. They protect their peace without poisoning their soul. This is what makes compassion the ultimate armor. It shields you from resentment, from bitterness, from becoming the very thing you stand against. The next time someone tests your patience, remember the lotus. It does not fight the mud. It rises above it. You can do the same. Instead of reacting blindly, pause, breathe, and ask, what choice will bring me peace? Maybe it's walking away. Maybe it's responding with kindness. Maybe it's understanding that another person's anger has nothing to do with you. Whatever it is, let your choice be one that elevates you, not one that chains you to their suffering. This week, practice compassion, not for others, but for yourself. Let go of grudges, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Choose understanding over retaliation, not because it's easy, but because it makes you unshakable. And in doing so, you will discover the truth. The strongest heart is the one that remains open, even in the presence of darkness. Bonus principle: the mirror of interconnectedness. A spider's web stretches across a quiet corner, glistening with morning dew. Tug one thread, and the entire structure trembles. This is the nature of existence. Everything is connected. Your emotions, your reactions, your inner world, they do not exist in isolation. Every thought you cultivate, every response you choose, sends ripples far beyond yourself. Train your mind to be unshakable, and you do not just find peace for yourself, you become a source of peace for others. Buddhism teaches that suffering is not personal, it is shared. The anger you feel towards someone is often the same pain they carry within themselves. The frustration you experience in a difficult situation is not just yours. It is the same challenge countless others face. When you heal yourself, when you rise above emotional storms, you do something profound. You weaken suffering's grip, not just for yourself, but for the world around you. A calm mind is never just personal freedom. It is collective resilience. Think of a time when someone's anger pulled you into their storm. Maybe it was a harsh word from a stranger, an unfair judgment, or a betrayal that left you reeling. But have you ever noticed what happens when you refuse to engage? When you do not feed the fire, it burns itself out. This is the power of self-mastery. When you choose peace, you do not just protect your mind, you interrupt cycles of negativity. One act of patience prevents a chain of reactions. One choice to be calm saves another from sinking into rage. Your stillness doesn't just affect you, it ripples outward. But here's the real challenge. What if the person who angers you most is actually your greatest teacher? What if the person who triggers your frustration is holding up a mirror to your unresolved pain? When you find yourself emotionally reactive, ask, what inside me is being reflected back? Maybe their impatience mirrors your own hidden rush. Maybe their criticism stings because it echoes your deepest insecurities. The world around you is not separate from you. It reveals you to yourself. The way you respond to life shapes not just your own experience, but the experience of those around you. A peaceful mind calms an entire room. A patient heart turns conflict into understanding. Your ability to remain centered is not just a personal practice, it is an offering to the world. When you are unshakable, you inspire others to be the same. When you choose compassion over resentment, clarity over chaos, others learn from your example. So today, ask yourself, how will my calm uplift someone else tomorrow? Maybe it's responding with kindness when frustration tempts you otherwise. Maybe it's taking a breath before speaking, so your words become medicine instead of poison. Maybe it's simply holding space for another's pain without absorbing it as your own. Every small act of self-mastery strengthens the collective mind. Train your mind, not just for yourself, but for the world, because in the end, we are all threads in the same web. And the more stillness you bring, the stronger the web becomes. Quick summary of the 10 principles. 1. Control your mind. Observe thoughts without attachment. Your awareness, not your thoughts, defines you. Pause before reacting to reclaim power. 2. Calmness as strength. Quiet minds act decisively. Stress tests clarity. Respond with breath, not panic. 3. Anger burns you. Anger prolongs suffering. Replace rage with curiosity about others' pain. 4. Surrender control. Focus on responses, not outcomes. Peace comes from releasing the illusion of control. 5. Life's unfairness teaches pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Ask, what is this teaching me? 6. Chaos reveals mastery. Outer chaos reflects inner turbulence. Stillness neutralizes noise. 7. Live in the present. Anxiety lives in the future. Focus on where your attention is needed now. 8. Non-attachment. Adapt like water. Clinging to outcomes creates suffering. 9. Impermanence liberates. Cherish moments without needing them to last. Fear dissolves with acceptance. 10. Compassion as armor. Hurt. People hurt others. Break cycles with understanding, not retaliation. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Zen teaches that your greatest battle isn't with the world. It's with the stories your mind spins. Every moment of chaos is a mirror. Do you see a victim or a warrior? The principles you've learned today aren't just tools. They're invitations to rewrite your reality. When you realize nothing is lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Modern life sells us a lie, that calm requires perfect conditions. But here's the truth. How Buddhism reveals, you don't need perfect conditions to be at peace. True power lies in realizing you're already whole. Stress, anger, fear, they're just weather passing through. You're the sky, vast, unchanging, untouchable. Let go or be dragged. And here's the kicker. Surrender isn't weakness. It's the ultimate rebellion against a world obsessed with control. Imagine this, a life where every setback fuels your growth, where every insult reveals your grace. That's freedom. And here's the beautiful part. Your calm isn't just for you. Thousands of candles can be lit from a single flame. When you master your mind, you become a beacon for others drowning in chaos. Compassion isn't sacrifice. It's the ripple that heals the world. The way out isn't around the storm. It's through it. Buddhism doesn't promise a life without storms. It hands you an unbreakable umbrella. And now, you've got 10 keys to stay unshakable. But here's the secret. You've already had them. This video, it just reminded you. So, I'll leave you with this. If this stirred something in you, if you felt that spark of possibility, don't let it fade. Hit that like button. Share this with someone who's battling their own chaos. Because here's the thing. The journey to peace doesn't start tomorrow. It starts now. Drop a comment below and tell me, which principle will you practice first? Your calm, your growth, your freedom. It's all within your reach. The storm will come, but you'll be the sky.